So our lesson today is lesson 47. God is the strength in which I trust. If you are trusting in your own strength, you have every reason to be apprehensive, anxious, and fearful. What can you predict or control? What is there in you that can be counted on? What would give you the ability to be aware of all the facets of any problem and to resolve them in such a way that only good can come of it? What is there in you that gives you the recognition of the right solution and the guarantee that it will be accomplished? Of yourself, you can do none of these things. To believe that you can is to put your trust where trust is unwarranted and to justify fear, anxiety, depression, anger, and sorrow. Who can put his faith in weakness and feel safe? Yet who can put his faith in strength and feel weak? God is your safety in every circumstance. His voice speaks for him in all situations and in every aspect of all situations, telling you exactly what to do to call upon his strength and his protection. There are no exceptions because God has no exceptions. And the voice which speaks for him thinks as he does. Today we will try to reach past your own weakness to the source of real strength. 4 5-minute practice periods are necessary today, and longer and more frequent ones are urged. Close your eyes and begin as usual by repeating the idea for the day. God is the strength in which I trust. Then spend a minute or two in searching for situations in your life which you have invested with fear, dismissing each one by telling yourself, God is the strength in which I trust. Now try to slip past all concerns related to your own sense of inadequacy. It is obvious that any situation that causes you concern is associated with feelings of inadequacy, for otherwise you would believe that you could deal with the situation successfully. It is not by trusting yourself that you will gain confidence, but the strength of God in you is successful in all things. The recognition of your own frailty is a necessary step in the correction of your errors, but it is hardly a sufficient one in giving you the confidence which you need and to which you are entitled. You must also gain an awareness that confidence in your real strength is fully justified in every respect and in all circumstances. In the latter phase of the practice period, try to reach down into your mind to a place of real safety. You will recognize that you have reached it if you feel a sense of deep peace, however briefly. Let go of all the trivial things that churn and bubble on the surface of your mind, and reach down and below them to the kingdom of heaven. There is a place in you where there is perfect peace. There is a place in you where nothing is impossible. There is a place in you where the strength of God abides. During the day, repeat the idea often. God is the strength in which I trust. Use it as your answer to any disturbance. Remember that peace is your right because you are giving your trust to the strength of God. Again, we can spend 5 minutes practicing this. Beginning part 1, where we search for situations in your life which you have invested with fear. But then telling yourself, God is the strength in which I trust. And then in the latter phase of the practice period, try to reach down into your mind. Reach down and below the thoughts to the kingdom of heaven, where the strength of God abides. We shares here that when we trust in our own strength, we don't feel so good. Apprehensive, anxious, fearful, justifying depression, anger, sorrow. So this lesson is the way out of that. He asks us very clearly, what would give you the ability to be aware of all the facets of any problem and to resolve them in such a way that only good can come of it? Of ourselves, we cannot do that. But how many of us have tried and tried and tried and tried? God's voice speaks for him in all situations and in every aspect of all situations, telling you exactly what to do to call upon his strength and his protection. There are no exceptions.
But the possibility to go to God's strength in everything, in every circumstance. How beautiful. And how helpful this lesson is, because he does invite us in the beginning to go into situations where we have relied on our own strength and we have been fearful, to invite God's strength, even past events or past feelings or recurring feelings, perhaps, recurring situations, problems. To say, God is the strength in which I trust in each of those situations. I was so happy when I realized this is the lesson I have, because I was inspired by this line that I shared last night. attempt to solve no problems, but within the holy instant's surety. And this is, I feel, the same message as this lesson, to rely on God's strength in all situations. We wouldn't attempt to do anything outside of that. What an invitation to not even attempt to solve any problems outside of the holy instant. What an invitation to say, well, I'm going to go within and do my mind training. I'm not going to try to make, decisions or solve problems unless I come from that place of light. This is what it says. This is from the quiet answer. In quietness are all things answered, and is every problem quietly resolved. In quietness are all things answered. In quietness. That's where our mind rests. Staying in that open, light place. In conflict, there can be no answer and no resolution. For its purpose is to make no resolution possible. The purpose for conflict is to make no resolution possible. Why would we choose such a purpose? Conflict. And its purpose is to ensure that no answer will be plain. No answer will be clear. This is what guidance is, our only guiding light, our only way shower. Problems, conflict is no good leader or way shower. Now we kind of talk about this if you want to read a little bit from there.
A problem set in conflict has no answer, for it is seen in different ways. And what would be an answer from one point of view is not an answer in another light. You are in conflict. Thus it must be clear you cannot answer anything at all, for conflict has no limited effects. Yet if God gave an answer, there must be a way in which your problems are resolved, for what He wills already has been done. Thus it must be that time is not involved, and every problem can be answered now. Yet it must also be that in your state of mind, solution is impossible. Therefore, God must have given you a way of reaching to another state of mind in which the answer is already there. Such is the holy instant. It is here that all your problems should be brought and left. Here they belong, for here their answer is. And where its answer is, a problem must be simple and be easily resolved. It must be pointless to attempt to solve a problem where the answer cannot be. Yet just as surely it must be resolved if it is brought to where the answer is.
In quietness. Some people here are kind of taking a vow of silence to actually give space for this quietness. So helpful. Rest from the busy mind and approach the answer, approach the quietness. It's interesting, the next paragraph too, where this sentence is, I read, attempt to solve no problems, but within the holy instant's surety, for there the problem will be answered and resolved. Outside, there will be no solution, for there is no answer there that could be found. Nowhere outside a single simple question is ever asked. The world can only ask a double question. One with many answers can have no answers. None of them will do. It does not ask a question to be answered, but only to restate its point of view. This is an interesting line, that the world cannot ask a real question. It merely makes a statement that I have a problem and I don't really care for the answer. It's restating a point of view. All questions asked within this world are but a way of looking, not a question asked. A question asked in hate cannot be answered, because it is an answer in itself. A double question asks and answers, both attesting the same thing in different form. The world asks but one question, it is this: of these illusions, which of them is true? Which ones establish peace and offer joy, and which can bring escape from all the pain of which this world is made? Whatever form the question takes, its purpose is the same. It asks but to establish sin is real, and answers in the form of preference. Which sin do you prefer? That is the one that you should choose. The others are not true. What can the body get that you would want the most of all? It is your servant and also your friend. But tell it what you want, and it will serve you lovingly and well. And this is not a question, for it tells you what you want and where to go for it. It leaves no room to question its beliefs, except that what it states takes question's form. Interesting. A pseudo question has no answer. It dictates the answer even as it asks. Thus is all questioning within the world a form of propaganda for itself. Just as the body's witnesses are but the senses from within itself, so are the answers to the questions of the world contained within the questions that are asked. Where answers represent the questions, they add nothing new, and nothing has been learned. Hey guys, this is why we're drawn to leaving the world behind. This is why Jesus says, I call you out of the world. An honest question is a learning tool that asks for something that you do not know. It does not set conditions for response, but merely asks what the response should be. But no one in a conflict state is free to ask this question, for he does not want an honest answer where the conflict ends. So if you experience conflict, there has been an attraction to conflict, and the desire for the answer is not present in the mind. Only within the holy instant can an honest question honestly be asked. And from the meaning of the question does the meaningfulness of the answer come. Beautiful. It's like you're already in alignment, in openness to the answer. When you ask a meaningful question, an honest desire for the answer of truth. Here is it possible to separate your wishes from the answer so it can be given you and also be received. The answer is provided everywhere, yet it is only here it can be heard, in this moment of honest requesting. Can this answer be heard? It is everywhere, but only in this moment of desire, can it be answered. So maybe we allow this for some moments here to rest in this place of honest requesting, rather than choosing any kind of conflict. When I was much younger, I read the Bible, and there was a line in the Bible saying, "Wait for God. You shall wait for God." And I always loved that. I feel that that is this honest request, honest asking. And somewhere I always understood that it was for me, not because God is waiting to appear in our awareness. It's for ourselves. We need to wait for our own readiness, but we can stay patiently in this open-minded presence and willingness, desire. Truth will be returned to you by your desire, for it was lost to you by your desire for something else. We release the something else. Yeah, there's some more interesting and helpful stuff in this. So the questions of the world, but ask of whom is sacrifice demanded? Not if sacrifice is meaningful at all. Of whom is sacrifice demanded? That's what the questions of the world are about. Not if sacrifice is meaningful. And so, unless the answer tells of whom, it will remain unrecognized, unheard, and thus the question is preserved intact because it gave the answer to itself. The holy instant is the interval in which the mind is still enough to hear an answer that is not entailed within the question asked. That's nice. So if there is a question asked, go within to the holy instant so that you can get another answer than what was within the question. The holy instant, it offers something new and different from the question. How could it be answered if it but repeats itself? This is the purpose of the questions in this world, its statements to repeat a sad experience. Therefore, attempt to solve no problems in a world from which the answer has been barred. But bring the problem to the only place that holds the answer lovingly for you. Here are the answers that will solve your problems, because they stand apart from them and see what can be answered, what the question is. Within the world, the answers merely raise another question, though they leave the first unanswered. In the holy instant, you can bring the question to the answer and receive the answer that was made for you. Yeah, I feel there is a strong desire for the answer in this group, in us. So yeah, if anyone would like to bring up something, you have a desire for the answer. Talking about it would be helpful.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so I just feel so grateful for yesterday, and I feel so much lighter today. And I think the thing I wanted to express was just how much I felt like I just felt so much love for Andre, and I wanted to just like reach out and hold his hand, and this fear, like I don't want to shock him with.
Would you be shocked, Andre?
Pleasantly shocked.
And also Anna, was sharing around like the forgiveness when I was here with Anna, and Anna comes into my mind a lot. Like really like my soul sister. And just formulated a message in my mind and then burst into tears. There's this fear of like, just
Fear of expressing the love.
Yeah.
Well, challenge yourself, challenge that fear by extending the love. Just extend the love, because it's love itself. It's not really from you. It's not really
it doesn't feel, it's not interpersonal.
Right. So the fear is there because there is a personal filter, But if you think of it as love flowing towards love, love flowing towards itself, it's like it's like you, in a way, your responsibility is to allow it. That's all is your part. That's your responsibility towards yourself, to allow it to flow freely, not to stop it. That's your gift to yourself and to the universe. That's all, then you will undo this personal, interpersonal perspective where you interpret something, with Lori. Lori is involved, but it's the undoing of the small self. It's so precious, and it requires really nothing, only that you allow it,
And that's been my fear around going into silence. Like, how is the connection going to happen? How is the love going to happen? And today it's just here.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I don't think silence is some kind of solitary confinement. I think it's, you know, when you get prompts and inspiration to extend from that silence, beautiful, you know, that is true expression. That's how it can come through. But only when you allow the silence, you know, will you, in quiet, like we read, in quietness are all questions answered. So it can only come from the stillness.
I feel so much more relaxed, just giving myself permission to do this. And seeing things, you know, Monica asked me if we would share a blanket. It's so lovely, and I could just feel like, oh yeah, you know, I got to smile in response, and oh yes, please. Like, I even changed the tone of my voice to make it sound more appreciative.
It's good to see. You believe you need to sound in a special way or something.
Yeah, that's
How
everything.
How about letting it come out the way it comes out?
Yeah, I just want to say yes, please, with this normal face, not.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
have permission. Always.
Okay, should be on the Wi-Fi now. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's just really, really, really reach my heart what you're reading today. I have a strong desire to really, you read about conflict.
Yeah.
And I even wrote it down. The purpose for conflict is to make sure no solutions is possible. And I just saw that so clearly. How strong my belief is in this, in having to find solutions for conflicts. So yeah, really just like put all this on the altar. I really, 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 really desire to change this and to go the other way.
Beautiful.
In
Beautiful.
my mind, to just open up to something else.
Yeah. It's beautiful. You turning the other way. Just walking away from conflict instead of getting lost in it. Walk towards the light.
Yeah, and this enormous guilt that I always feel is so connected with this idea of perceived conflict.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So helpful to pair it with today's lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, I just felt like speaking up.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So open, so beautiful to open all the inner closets where things have been hiding away.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So beautiful soul.
Oh. Love you. Love you all.
I love you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, like we were talking about the holy instant surety there. I had an experience with that during the meditation. Like I felt a bit of heaviness this morning. I woke up, but I didn't wake up with it. It kind of came in a little bit after. I was thinking about a few things, and just some heaviness came in, and some fear and guilt. And during the meditation, you know, I still felt it, and I could also feel the light in my mind, and I just went really into the light, and all the feelings I had just really disappeared. Every trace of it, and there's just a lightness now again. It feels really like the peacefulness is there, and I got an image. An image just came to my mind. I was thanking the Holy Spirit just for the ability to do this, and an image came to my mind about forgiveness. It's like someone is drowning and we've been thrown a life buoy. And that's what forgiveness is. God or Spirit has given us this. I don't usually get images like that. It's usually Barret that has all these nice images. But yeah, that's it really. I just felt to come on and share that.
Yeah.
I just feel very grateful for forgiveness. Like it was like it has been given to us to save us.
Yeah.
Like
By God's
literally
grace.
from drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Right?
Yeah.
Just grab
And it's
on.
always available. You know, bring stuff to that place in your mind. It is always right there.
Yeah.
It's just I can see it's just a lot about desire, wanting
Yeah.
it, choosing it
Yeah.
rather than the other stuff.
Yeah.
And
That
it
is
can literally
everything.
just
Yeah. The desire, the wanting, the willingness is everything. Because when there is conflict, it has actually been a desire for conflict.
right. Yeah.
And then the desire to be, yeah, like we read the hero of the dream, maybe to resolve worldly conflicts. But that's another way of being in them and being a hero in the dream. And yeah. So the only place of clarity is within. It's just that's nice.
Yeah, I
Matthew.
feel real hopeful, you know, it's like it's yeah, we're never bereft of hope, you know, it's right here. It's just a matter of us choosing it, wanting it.
It's a lovely image, the life buoy, like being thrown out.
Yeah.
And do you want to take it? You know, and for the ego, it's to take a bite of the humble pie sometimes, to forgive, to want to forgive instead of clinging on to opinions or anger or whatever perception. Instead, we need to first understand it's our own perception of everything. That is the problem. Problem is never outside. And that's when we first accept that, and then we're taking a good step forward towards real forgiveness. That responsibility for perception. That's, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for sharing. Thank you, Matthew. Love you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. See you. Anybody else? Cobus?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Cobus.
Hi, hi guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for that share, Matthew. It was beautiful. I just wanted to like speak about this authenticity. Like often when you grow up in family, you get taught, what behaviors are good, what behaviors are bad, what to say and what not to say. And then you go through this conditioning and you start becoming a good boy and a good girl or whatever. But as soon as you start breaking down that behavior pattern of, okay, I just want to be truthful to what I feel and what I authentically feel, often the reflection that you get is like guilt gets put, like the person acts angry or stops talking to you, or
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and you feel, but then you realize, I don't want to keep playing this game. You can start seeing the game is guilt. The game is about behavior, and they give you roles to play to make prop their egos up, or prop your own ego up. You do it yourself as well with others. But then just to feel, I want to be, that's actually that's my desire. Just, I would like to be in a situation where I can be more authentic with what's true for me in the moment. It's not the truth, but it's what I'm feeling, it's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Well, the good news,
And
Cobus,
yeah.
you have attracted a
Mm,
very, very authentic spiritual community that is
yeah.
coming your way very soon.
Yes. Yeah,
Where
that
you
is
can
good. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what you're leaving behind,
Mm,
you have the desire to not play the game, and you're
mm,
leaving behind the players of the game too. And the
mm,
players of the game may act
mm,
angry or be upset
mm,
when you leave the game,
mm,
because it was your game and they were all in
mm,
agreement to play that game. And when you
mm,
don't play it, they may get upset with you,
mm,
but you should have no concern about that. Don't look at
mm,
the effects. Like, actually, we read about that last night. So Holy Spirit
mm,
does not look to effects
mm,
in
mm.
any way. You just stay with Holy Spirit in your mind and trust, and that's everything.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to know as well, like when I do see this game being played outside me and I react in a way, or I see this person's acting angry, and I mean, I can only take responsibility for my state of mind. So when it affects me, when I feel it's affecting me, like I don't really like having this feeling that we can't connect. Um, I probably can only turn it inward and
Yeah.
and forgive it. I mean, yeah. Um,
Connection in form is impossible,
mm.
so it's probably some guilt there that you can look at.
But I
So
mean connection in purpose. Like even the person is not on the same path as I am. So I mean,
you can't do it
then
unless they want the same purpose.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if it's upsetting me, then it's guilt, as you say. Then it's
Yeah.
guilt that I need to release in my own
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, that is it. So you may need to just commune more with the Holy Spirit when you
Mm,
want someone to, that understands. So there can be
mm,
that desire to make the other
mm,
person understand that you're wishing them well and that you're coming
mm,
from an authentic place.
mm,
But it's a past reflection, and
mm,
and if they are not in the yes, the true joining, you won't
mm,
get the reflection that you want, but
mm, mm,
even seeking it there, yeah, it is coming from guilt.
mm,
So you can only have the intention and the invitation for
mm,
everyone to join you, but then don't
mm,
judge who joins you and who doesn't,
mm,
you know?
mm. Yeah, I feel yeah, so that's all good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, let them go. This other, beautiful little poem in the course. let them all go dancing in the wind, swirling far, far away from you. It's about thoughts, like thoughts that you let go, and they can be represented by some people, that aren't, whatever you do and say, they don't understand because they are not on the same, they're not vibing in your vibe. They're not, choosing awakening. So yeah, let them all go dancing in the wind, dipping and turning till they disappear from sight, far, far outside of you, and turn you to the stately calm within, where in holy stillness dwells the living God you never left and who never left you. So these guilty thoughts or doubt thoughts, you let them go. Just stay in this place within. Thanks, Kovis. Everything is based upon invitation, and we can't, it's like banging our heads against the wall when we try so hard to connect with somebody who doesn't want to connect. In the core, there can be an inner no. And it is an inner no to God. It's not really ever personal, but if the inner no to God is too strong, you cannot approach. It's like magnets that are repelling, if you turn it the other way, it's like repelling. You cannot. And you shouldn't try. You don't need to try. We don't have to fix the world. This is not our purpose. Everyone will come around in the end. You just need to let them go their own way. Very fun. Go your own way.
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
Send them off with a blessing. And I take your way, God, and bless whatever else is going on, but can't convert anyone. Right, I think we will move on to our next things here, but yeah, just leave you with the lesson 47. God is the strength in which I trust. These lessons are like, he's saying, apply them anytime throughout the day when you need it. God's strength is available. That's the only thing that's sure. Yeah. And we're so available also to join with you in this desire for it. So, because that's our desire. Totally. Okay.
All right. Well, as we go our own way, we're together with you.
We take God's way. Love you.
Yeah. Have a great day.